The Brendan Depper protests got pushed back. They're trying to sabotage. They're trying to sabotage the protests by delaying the sentencing. They're trying to sabotage the protests by delaying the sentencing. But as Public Enemy said, it takes a nation of millions to hold me back. It takes a nation of millions to hold Ifa Tunde back. They knew that I was going to expose the injustice in the Brendan Depper case. They knew I was going to expose the injustice in the Brendan Depper case, so they pushed the date back, trying to sabotage us. You can't stop us. It takes a nation of millions to hold Ifa Tunde back. Soon when the new date is announced, I want y'all to pull up, and I better see Africans from all over America. I heard some of my Caribbean Africans is coming to the next Brendan Depper protest. Y'all better pull up, because if you don't pull up to the protest, you might not be allowed at the FDMG grand opening celebration. If you don't come to the Brendan Depper protest, you might not be allowed at the FDMG grand opening. You heard what I said. You heard what I said. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. If you don't show up to the Brendan Depper protest, you ain't coming to FDMG. If you can't stand for black children, don't come into our school. If you can't stand for black children, don't come into our school. Tonight, it's going down at the Scottish Rite Cathedral. It's going down at the Scottish Rite Cathedral, 29 West 6th Street, Jacksonville, Florida. It's the first day of Black History Month. And this is what I want to say to all my Africans about Black History Month. This is what I want to say to all my Africans in America, my American Africans. I don't want to hear you complaining about what white people are not doing for Black History Month. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear you complaining about what the Caucasians are not doing for Black History Month. You better go to your public library and you better put on a Black History Month event. You better put on a Black History activity for the youth. You better do something for Black History Month. Don't tell me about the white newspapers. Don't tell me about the white television stations, the cable networks. I don't want to hear about them because they are not African. You are African. You celebrate Black History Month. You celebrate Black History Month. You celebrate Black History Month. I don't want to hear about nobody who don't look like me. They have no obligation to celebrate your culture. Dr. Carter G. Woodson started Black History Month in 1926, 1927, so we could know who we are, so we could celebrate who we are. I don't want to hear about the white people not celebrating Black History Month. They don't even value your life. Why would they celebrate your struggle? They don't even value your existence. Why would they celebrate your experience? They don't even value you being on the planet. Why would they celebrate your culture? Don't call yourself a proud African and you not doing nothing for Black History Month in your city, especially the small cities. The cities that don't have a lot of blacks. My Omaha, Nebraska, celebrate your history. My Phoenix, Arizona, celebrate your history. Bunnell, Florida, celebrate your history. Des Moines, Iowa, celebrate your history. Salt Lake City, Utah, Africans, celebrate your history. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School Paint Day coming up. Who coming to help us paint? Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School Paint Day coming up. Who coming to help us paint? Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School Paint Day coming up. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me. In the name of Black History Month, I want every African on the planet Earth to hit the Cash App and hit the PayPal. This is the first day of 2024 Black History Month. I don't care if you send $1. I don't care if you send $1 in honor of our ancestors, from Africa, from Europe, from the Caribbean, Canada, Australia, South Pacific, Europe, Asia, Central and South America, the 50 states of America. Hit your Cash App. I don't care if you send $1 in the name of the ancestors. Help us build black schools for black children. In the name of the ancestors, help us build black schools for black children. Hit your Cash App, brothers and sisters. Hit your Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit your Cash App for Black History Month, $FDMG School. Hit your Cash App. Hit your PayPal, FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal, FDMG Academy. Hit your PayPal, FDMG Academy. Listen to me. Snow Bunny Hoppers, I'm going to let you hit the Cash App. Snow Bunny Hoppers, I'm going to let you hit the Cash App for Black History Month. Snow Bunny, if you a Snow Bunny Hopper in recovery, because I will be have a Bunny Hoppies recovery, Snow Bunny Hoppers Recovery Conference. Snow Bunny Hoppers Recovery Conference is coming soon. If you cannot stop swimming in the snow, if you cannot stop swimming in the milk, don't you worry. Snow Bunny Recovery is on its way. Hit the Cash App, Bunny Hoppers, $FDMG School. $FDMG School. $FDMG School. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal.me/FDMG Academy. PayPal. Savannah, Georgia, I'm going to see you Saturday night. Savannah, Georgia, I'm going to see you Saturday night, the day after tomorrow, at the second annual Gullah Geechee Oyo Tunji African Village second annual Grand African Ball. You must wear your African attire. You must wear your ladies. You must wear your African attire. Oh yes. Oh yes. 460 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard Annex. Let me get the address right. Who coming to Savannah, Georgia with their African garb on Saturday night at 6 p.m. for the Grand African Ball? They going to have a happy hour at 4 o'clock. You could show up for the happy hour and get you some good African spirits in your soul. I want all my bunny hoppers to show up to the second annual Gullah Geechee Ball in Savannah, Georgia on Saturday, February the 3rd. Show up for the happy hour so you can get you some African spirits to quench your snow bunny thirst. Come get you some African spirits. Come get some organic African wine. Come get some palm wine, some Ethiopian honey wine so we can quench your snow bunny thirst. Oh yes. Oh yes. Savannah, Georgia. Beautiful African queens. I'm taking a picture with all my African sisters in their African garb Saturday night. I'm taking a picture with all my African sisters in Savannah, Georgia at the second annual Grand African Ball. I know they're going to be looking so beautiful. I love when the sisters put on the African garb. I'm just hoping that the sisters come with their natural hair. You still allowed if you're not natural. But I hope you accentuate your African clothing with the African hairstyle. I'm hoping you accentuate your African clothing with an African hairstyle at the second annual Grand African Ball in Savannah, Georgia, Saturday night, February the 3rd, 6 p.m. 4 p.m. is the happy hour. Come and get some African spirits. Come and get, ladies, don't be flirting all with me. Don't be getting all intoxicated trying to rub up on King Kong. Don't be getting all intoxicated trying to rub up on King Kong, ladies. Okay, because this is an African spiritual ball. We bringing out the Orishas. We bringing out the ancestors. We bringing out the Agungun, the Egbe Orun. So you got to be on your best behavior, ladies. Don't be getting all frisky with Papa in Savannah after you had a couple drinks. Okay? Okay? Let me tell you the exact address. Exact address. Let me give it to y'all one time. Morehouse College. I can't wait to come. First time on campus for my Morehouse College Africans. Shout out to the young men of Morehouse. Y'all been trying to get me there for several years. Y'all been trying to get me to Morehouse for several years. Shout out to the black students at FAMU. Y'all been trying to get me to FAMU for several years. It's finally happened. FAMU and Morehouse, HBCU tradition. Where are my HBCU students and alumni at? Make some noise one time. Make some noise one time. Where all my HBCU alumni and students at? We representing HBCUs in February. We representing HBCUs. Where my alumni at? All my HBCU alumni. Even if your HBCU has been shut down, you are still an alum. That spirit of that HBCU is still, we got to stop letting these HBCUs get shut down. Every HBCU needs to become a FDMG. Every shut down HBCU needs to become an FDMG. Every shut down HBCU needs to become an FDMG. So, if you come into the second annual Gullah Geechee Ball, if you come into the second annual Gullah Geechee Ball Saturday, we will be at the Dr. Priscilla Thomas Annex. Dr. Priscilla Thomas Annex, 460 MLK Jr. Boulevard Annex Building. 460 MLK Jr. Boulevard Annex Building. 460 MLK Jr. Boulevard Annex Building, behind the Mark Ralph Gilbert Museum. More information, 912-349-7435. You want to be a vendor? You want to find out about that happy hour to get that African spirits in you? 912-349-7435. 912-349-7435. 912-349-7435. If you're trying to pull up to the second annual Gullah Geechee Grand African Ball, African attire only. African attire. The queens are going to be looking lovely. I'm taking a picture with everyone and I'm posting it on social media. So if you got that fly ass African outfit, you better come tomorrow. Take a picture with the notorious one. Come out Saturday, not tomorrow, Saturday to Savannah and take a picture with the notorious one, ladies, so you can get posted up. Come take a picture with the notorious one so I can post you up on my social media looking all good. Looking all good. Looking all good. If you ain't got natural hair, put a head wrap on. Put a head wrap on. Put you an African, get some of that Ghanaian cloth. Get some of that Nigerian cloth. Get some of that Botswana cloth. Get some of that Eritrean, Ethiopian, Somali, Sudanese cloth. Get some of that Namibian cloth. Get some of that Liberian, Togo cloth. Get some of that Sierra Leone cloth and wrap that head on. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I don't want to drink because I don't drink. I do a little red wine occasionally. A little red wine occasionally. But because we invoking the ancestor Saturday night, if they got some ancestor wine, I might have to partake in some Goon Goon Punch. And some Goon Goon Punch. And some Goon Goon Punch. Who's showing up to Savannah, Georgia, Saturday night, February the 3rd with Dr. Umar Tunde, 6 p.m., happy hour at 4. All snow bunny hunters, come and get you some grand African spirits so we can quench your snow bunny thirst. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. Oh, yes. PGRNA, Charleston, South Carolina. March 31st, location to be announced. I want to see the whole South Carolina at the PGRNA conference. I want to see the whole South Carolina at the PGRNA conference. I want to see the whole South. All my Charleston Africans, it's been 9 long years. All my Charleston Africans, it's been 9 long. Oh, yes. Dr. Umar's 7th annual African group tour. Dr. Umar's 7th annual African group tour. Sign up begins on Frederick Douglass Earth Day. You call it Valentine's. I call it Frederick Douglass Earth Day. You call it Valentine's. I call it Frederick Douglass's Earth Day. You call it Valentine's. I call it Frederick Douglass's Earth Day. On February the 14th, you can begin to register. I will drop the information for those of you who are going across the waters of the ancestors. The largest cemetery on planet Earth is the Atlantic Ocean. I said the largest cemetery on planet Earth is the Atlantic Ocean. I said the largest cemetery on planet Earth is the Atlantic Ocean. Who's going back to Ghana, Gambia, and Senegal with the Prince of Pan-Africanism? Who's going to Ghana, Gambia, and Senegal the last week of July, first week of August? Who's going to Ghana, Gambia, and Senegal with the Prince of Pan-Africanism the last week of July, first week of August? Who's going to Ghana, Gambia, and Senegal with the Prince of Pan-Africanism? 14 days, 14 nights. 14 days, 14 nights. Zestfest. You know what? We're going to have to deactivate the feminine chip in our African males. We're going to have to deactivate the demon of femininity within the African male population. We need some testosterone tablets. You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a testosterone baptism, an alpha male testosterone baptism. We're going to fill the whole swimming pool up with testosterone, and we're going to baptize you back into your masculinity. There we go. Oh, yes. 2024 is the year of solutions for African people. 2024 is the year of solutions. We're going to baptize his soft, sensitive ass in the pool of testosterone. We're going to baptize you back into your African divinity. We're going to baptize you back into your African divinity. Because if you brothers don't reclaim your divine masculinity, if you brothers don't reclaim your divine masculinity, if you brothers don't reclaim your divine masculinity, you're going to force me to have to take on more wives because I don't want my sister single. We got to get you brothers back into your divine masculinity, because until you brothers tap back into your divine masculinity, I'm going to have to take on more than 2 wives because I don't want to see my sister single. And I don't want more than 2 wives. King Kong don't need more than 2 wives. But if you brothers keep on tapping into this femininity the way you are, if you keep on tapping into your femininity instead of your masculinity, I'm going to have to take on more wives. I don't want to take on more wives. I only want 2. But if y'all don't get it together, I'm going to have to take on more wives. It's hard being King Kong. I got to deal with coons. I got to deal with the government. FBI is chasing me down. It's hard being King Kong. Neanderthal Nation, all of my inbox. Hit the Cash App for Paint Day, Furniture Day, and Cleanup Day. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Hit the Cash App, $FDMG School. Sunday, February the 4th, Black Wall Street Market, Atlanta, Georgia. You better be pulling up. Sunday, February the 4th, Black Wall Street Market in Stonecrest, Georgia. The event is absolutely free. Black Wall Street Market, Stonecrest, Georgia, Economics Conference. I will see you in 3 days. I will see Atlanta Africans in Stonecrest. I will see my East Point Africans in Stonecrest, Georgia, at the Black Wall Street Market, Sunday, February the 4th, from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. King Kong speaks. At 3 p.m., come get a copy of Black Parent Advocate tonight in Jacksonville. The book every black parent needs to have. Come get a copy in Jacksonville, Florida tonight. Come get a copy in Savannah, Georgia, Saturday night. Come get a copy in Stonecrest, Georgia at the Black Wall Street Marketplace, Sunday, 11 to 6. King Kong speaks at 3. Black History Month begins in the South. Black History Month begins in the South. Black history. I want y'all to come to the Black Wall Street market. Nothing but black businesses. Wall to wall, every floor, every store, 150,000 square feet of black businesses. Marcus Garvey is returning in the whirlwind. Marcus Garvey, His Excellency, the prophet and king of Pan-Africanism, the most honorable Marcus Garvey, is returning in the whirlwind. Black History Month begins in Jacksonville, Florida. Black History Month begins in Savannah, Georgia. Black History Month begins in Stonecrest, Georgia. Oakland, California. Make sure you go to drumarjohnson.com and register for the boot camp. Oakland, California, make sure you go to drumarjohnson.com and register for the boot camp. Sacramento, California, make sure you go to drumarjohnson.com and register for the boot camp. San Francisco, California, make sure you go to drumarjohnson.com and register for the boot camp. Antioch, California, Richmond, California, make sure you go to drumarjohnson.com and register for the boot camp. You want me to pull up in Rochester on Frederick Douglass' birthday? Y'all want to see the cousin of Frederick Douglass in Rochester on February the 14th? Y'all want to see the cousin of Frederick Douglass in Rochester, New York on February the 14th? Do y'all want to see the great cousin of Frederick Douglass, the Prince of Pan-Africanism, in Rochester? Should I come to Rochester and read the Frederick Douglass speeches on his Earth Day? Should I come to Rochester and read the speeches of Frederick Douglass at his gravesite on his Earth Day? Where my Rochester, New York Africans at? Where my Syracuse, New York Africans? I gotta go visit Harriet Tubman gravesite. Auburn, New York, closest to Syracuse. My Syracuse University students, y'all tried to get me up there a few months ago, and the Neanderthal power structure shut you down. I want to give a shout out to my Syracuse University students. I want to give a shout out to my Syracuse University. They tried to get me on campus and the Neanderthal power structure shut me down. Shout out to Syracuse University. I tell you what, Syracuse, this is what we're going to do for my Syracuse University students. I'm going to meet y'all at Harriet Tubman gravesite, and I'm going to do the lecture at Harriet Tubman gravesite. Let's start the insurrection. Let's start the insurrection. Syracuse University black students, Dr. Umar is willing to meet you at Harriet Tubman gravesite, 45 minutes from your campus, and I'm going to do the lecture for Black Syracuse University at the Harriet Tubman gravesite. Are you with me, Syracuse University students? Are you with me, Syracuse University students? Are you with me, Syracuse University students? Let's do the lecture. Whenever they sabotage, we go into the closest ancestral shrine, and I'm doing the lecture out. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters. When Cuse is in the house, oh my God. When Cuse is in the house, oh my God. We still going to make Syracuse happen, though. I'm still coming to Syracuse University. It was just a little glitch on the paperwork. The administration said they had nothing against me. They said it was the student organization that didn't fill out the paperwork correctly. That's what I was told. My attorney was told that the paperwork was not done right. So my Syracuse students, do the paperwork right. I ain't been to Syracuse since 2015, Black History Month. That's 9 years I ain't been to Syracuse University. So I need my black students at Syracuse, do the paperwork right. Get the paperwork right so I could come on campus. That was on y'all. Your administration said it was not their fault. It was not racism. They did not discriminate against the prince. They said the student organization didn't do the paperwork right. Syracuse University, get the paperwork right so I could come on campus. But we still going to Harriet's grave. Oh, yes. I'm about to start the Dr. Umar mini tours across Black America. Who's going on the Dr. Umar mini tour? The mini tour. Black History mini tour. The first mini tour is going to be New York. We're going to the Ferncrest Cemetery to pay respects to all the ancestors: Malcolm X, Dr. Khalid Abdul Muhammad, Sekou Odinga, Yusuf bin Yakinen. Oh yes. James Baldwin. Oh, yes. And then we're going to go to the world famous Apollo Theater. And then we're going to go to the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. And then we're going to go to the Harriet Tubman Home and Grave. And then we're going to go to the Frederick Douglass Home and Grave. Who's going on the New York City tour? Black History Tour with Dr. Umar. Oh, yes. But who's going to Africa with me? Who's coming to the Goree Island slave dungeon where I had my spiritual renaissance? Who's coming to the Cape Coast Castle dungeon and the Elmina dungeon and the Kente Cloth Museum and the Wood Factory and the Bead Factory and the Prempeh Museum? Oh, yes. We going back to Africa. Where my Ghanaian Africans at? Listen to me. If you live in Senegal, Gambia, and Ghana, I need you to listen to me real carefully. If you live in Senegal, Gambia, and Ghana, I need you to listen to me real carefully. If you live in Senegal, Gambia, and Ghana, I want to speak at the University of Ghana. One of those nights I'm in Ghana. I want to speak at the University of Senegal. One of those nights I'm in Senegal. And I want to speak at the University of Gambia. One of those nights I'm in Gambia. I'm telling you now. So my students at the University of Ghana, my students at the University of Senegal, and my students at the University of Gambia, go into the student activities department and tell them to email Dr. Umar so we can schedule the lecture. I don't want no money. This is free. I'm coming on campus for my young African revolutionaries. Where the Pan-Africanists of Senegal at? Where the Pan-Africanists of Ghana at? Where the Pan-Africanists of Gambia at? I'm serious. I'm dead serious now. I'm speaking at the University of Gambia. I'm speaking at the University of Senegal. And I'm speaking at the University of Ghana. But I need y'all to make it happen so we know the dates. I need Senegal to know when they can pull up and see me. I need Ghana to know when they can pull up and see me. And I need the Gambia to know when they can pull up and see me. Add me on WhatsApp. Add me on WhatsApp. Tell your professor to add me on WhatsApp. Dr. Umar is coming to this campus for free because we've been wanting him here for years. He's coming for free. No excuses. Just pass him the microphone. Pass the greatest Pan-Africanist on earth. Pass me the microphone and get out the way. That's all I want. University of Senegal. Pass me the microphone and let me birth Pan-Africanism. University of Ghana. Pass me the microphone. University of Gambia. Pass me the microphone and let the ancestors speak through the greatest Pan-Africanists of this day and time. And that's none other than King Kong consciousness. I need something to eat. Jacksonville, Florida, where the soul food restaurants at? Jacksonville, Florida, where the soul food restaurants at? I need some shrimp and grits. I need some shrimp and grits, some homemade orange juice, some jelly and butter biscuits. I need some jelly butter biscuits. Jacksonville, where the soul food? Jacksonville, Florida, I'm in the building. Jacksonville, Florida, I'm in the building. Where the soul food restaurants at? Where the soul food restaurants at? Dallas didn't come through. I don't know what happened with the Dallas event on the 17th, so I gave it to Oakland. I gave Dallas to Oakland because Dallas kept playing around. I need a restaurant. I'm not going to the Potter's house. TD Jake's got enough problems right now. TD Jake's got enough problems right now. TD Jake's got enough problems right now. I'm not going to the Potter's house. I need some shrimp and grits. Jacksonville. Marry me, Dr. Umar. Is that a pina colada African queen or is that a bunny? Is that a pina colada African queen or was that a bunny? Or was that a snow bunny? Help me out, sister. You might have been a pina colada African queen. No disrespect to the pina colada African queens. I love all of you. I just got to make sure that wasn't a snow bunny because they be trying to infiltrate the lives lately. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. Howard University, I don't know what's going on with your campus. Howard University students, where my Howard University students who pulled up on Dr. Umar the other day? Where my Howard University students who pulled up on Dr. Umar the other day at Sankofa Bookstore? Y'all gonna have to storm your vice president for student affairs office, and find out why they're not letting y'all bring me to Howard. I don't know what's going on with Howard University. I don't know what's going on with Howard. Get Greg Carr. Tell Professor Greg Carr, Dr. Greg Carr, African American Studies Chair. Tell Dr. Greg Carr, Dr. Umar said, get him a lecture hall for Black History Month, and he's bringing the fire. Go get Dr. Greg Carr and say why Dr. Umar ain't been on this campus yet. That's right. Go get the elder. Much respect to Dr. Greg Carr. Tell Dr. Greg Carr, get me a lecture hall and I'll take care of the rest. Howard University deserves the Dr. Umar Ifatunde in Black History Month. Howard University deserves that. You know what? I need to do a DC HBCU tour. I need to do a DMV. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to hit up Maryland Eastern Shore. I'm going to hit up Delaware State. I'm going to hit up Coppin, Morgan, Bowie, and Howard. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. We're going to do a 6-campus DMV HBCU tour this month. Let's make it pop. Let's make it pop. University of Maryland Eastern Shore, storm the president's office. Delaware State, storm the president's office. Coppin State, storm the president's office. Bowie State, storm the president's office. Howard University, storm the president's office and say, we need Dr. Umar on campus this month. Stop the bourgeoisie. Stop the black bourgeoisie from hating on King Kong consciousness. Stop the HBCU bourgeoisie. Morehouse pushed through. Shaw University pushed through. FAMU pushed through. Let's push through, brothers and sisters. University of DC. Xavier University, where's the invite at? Where's my invite to Grambling University? I ain't been to Grambling State. I've been to Southern. Where the Grambling State invite at? South Carolina State, when y'all bringing me back. Bowie State, when y'all bringing me back. Morgan State, when y'all bringing me back. Cheney State, when y'all bringing me back. Lincoln State, when y'all bringing me back. Did I speak at Hampton before? Norfolk State, when y'all bringing me back. I spoke at North Carolina A&T. I ain't been to Central State yet. Central State, we could do Central State, and what's the school right across the street from Central State? There's a HBCU right across the street from Central State. We're going to do them together. We're going to do them together. My PWIs, I'm here for you. My black students at the PWIs, I'm here for you. Storm the president's office and say we want King Kong. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Johnson C. Smith, I've spoke there before. Johnson C. Smith, I've spoke there before. I haven't spoken. Wait, Virginia State. I had an invitation to Virginia State, and I thanked the Rainbow Gang. This was like 10 years ago. I had an invitation to Virginia State, and I thanked the Rainbow Gang. Texas Southern, where the invite? I spoke at the University of Iowa, or was it Iowa State? I spoke at the University of Minnesota Mankato campus. I spoke at Ferris State University in Michigan. I never spoke at Florida State. Florida State, I spoke at Fisk. University of Toledo, where the invite at? I spoke at Iowa or Iowa State. Jacksonville, Florida, where the soul food restaurants? Texas Southern, where the invite at? 215-989-9858. I need to eat right now. Bethune-Cookman, I had an invite to Bethune-Cookman. Let me tell y'all what happened with Bethune-Cookman. My Daytona Beach Africans, I better see y'all in Jacksonville tonight. My Daytona Beach, Florida Africans, I better see you in Jack. Let me tell you what happened with Bethune-Cookman. This was about 6 years ago. Donald Trump was president. Bethune-Cookman invited me to campus, and one of the administrators said I was too controversial. Bethune-Cookman College, listen, I'm telling y'all, 6 years ago, Donald Trump was president. I got invited to Bethune-Cookman, and one of the administrators said I was too controversial, and they didn't let me come, but they brought Betsy DeVos, Donald Trump's racist Secretary of Education. They brought her to Bethune-Cookman instead of the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Did y'all hear what I just said? Bethune-Cookman College, you owe your students reparations in the form of a Dr. Umar visit. How dare you cancel my lecture and bring a white racist Republican Secretary of Education, Betsy DeVos, in place of the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Bethune-Cookman, you owe reparations. Bethune-Cookman, you owe reparations. You owe your students a Dr. Umar visit. How dare you? How dare you not let me come to campus and bring Betsy DeVos on your campus? That is ridiculous. They brought a Republican Secretary of Education for Donald Trump in place of the Prince.